Garden tour week 3. So here we have the greens and something really eating whatever this is. I think that's a cabbage, but I've seen slugs on it. I have to start picking these little Swiss chards before they bolt again. Anyway, I was excited to see, I think this is a Savoy cabbage, and it's finally starting to form a head in there. I have another one. Oh, I think it's right here. So I think I have about 3 cabbages in here, and this Danish ball head cabbage also starting to swirl around. The leaves look so good. So I'm excited about that. Of course, we've got the parsley, the monster that keeps wanting to bolt. The chives have finished flowering, and they've spread nicely. They really have. I need to dig some up and transplant them. I had some somewhere else, but there's a different kind of weed that we had last year that killed them, and the mint, which I didn't think mint could be killed, but it did it. Anyway, here we have an orange ox heart, looking quite luscious and starting to produce some flowers. Had some down here, but I don't think they did anything. But I will be pruning to make sure that there's room for everything to grow, since I kind of did like a high intensity thing this year. So there's not a whole lot of room for everything. Anyway, these little peppers finally seem like they might be wanting to catch up. Whatever was eating them, it's still eating them, but you know, they seem like they're bouncing back. But I've got an Obcharski pepper down here, and I still need to put some straw down so all of this dirt doesn't splatter up. But my first Obcharski pepper, I've never grown these before. They're supposed to be good roasting peppers. These are my jalapeno peppers that I grew from seed, but they were so small, so I didn't want to put them in the bed because I didn't think they would be able to handle any bug attacks or anything, but they're getting better, so I will find some place for them. All these maple tree seedlings rather. Anyway, I've got 2 little Market Mart cucumbers that popped up. Here is Green Giant tomato, which truly is a giant. It is beautiful. I love the way the flowers form. They look like little clams. I don't know if I can zoom in on that, but they're just really pretty. Got some banana peppers back there too. And another one right back up there. So, doing well with the peppers. Shasta daisies, I waited a year for these things, and they are finally starting to bud, but I'll show that when I get over there. These are the currant and cherry tomato bed. Cherry tomato plants, I'll say that. Got the red currant tomato right here. That's a white currant tomato that grew nice and tall. It was so squatty, and yet it took off and it's taller than the red currant, which is different because the red currant is very, it vines a lot, so it's shorter, but it puts out a lot of different branches, and this one over here is the same. But the white currant just seems to be growing up tall, like, you know, full-size tomatoes. Anyway, here's the sun gold. I purchased that one at Walmart, and there were 2 in there, so I did plant the 2 of them together. I'm gonna have to make sure I heavily prune them, but it's got a lot of buds on it, so I'm looking forward to some tomatoes soon. And still have these little red currant tomatoes down here that I found, I think 2 days ago. Not sure if you can see those, but yep, right there, and still flowering. So got that, and then this guy, this Brandywine Black is finally starting to grow. Looks great, so I think it is just a slow grower, but it looks very healthy. This one, who is this? Oh, another orange oxheart. I should know that. I need to get a stake and stake it up because it is leaning toward the sun. But we've got some flowers in there too. Very exciting. Very exciting. And then this one is Dr. Wykes. Dr. Wykes tomato. And it's such a pretty green plant, like such nice leaves. I really, really like that. And again, here is another view of my second red currant tomato. Why is it blurry? There we go. Second red currant tomato. Again, I'm gonna have to really prune it because these things bush and vine out like crazy. And over here to the large rainbow tomato bed. This is another green giant. I did put a stake in here. So as soon as I find my Velcro tape, I will stake him up over here because again, they're leaning toward the sun. Most of the day, the sun is on this side of the garden. So even if you can see, the corn is pointing in that direction. So everything's leaning over that way. So I'm gonna have to stake it up. But anyway, another green giant, very large tomato plant. Beautiful tomato plant. I've never grown potato leaf tomatoes before, but they really are beautiful. Really are. And next to him is another Dr. Wykes, or I don't know how you pronounce it. I have no idea. Here's the plant marker. That's his tomato. Okay, and growing well. I don't see, oh, there are some flowers starting to form in there. So we'll have some beautiful tomatoes hopefully soon. Again, I think these are bachelor buttons. I have no idea, I've never grown them before. I was just trying to grow a variety of flowers, wow, flowers in my garden. So I did. Here's beefsteak, and we've got some flowers growing in here. I think that's it, but it's such a nice, big, luscious plant. I will have to prune it because it did split in two. So because I did a lot of tomatoes over here, I want to make sure that I cut back on the disease as much as possible. It's an experiment. I just wanted to see if I could grow as many vegetables as possible. So back here is my favorite tomato, Kellogg's breakfast tomato. So looking forward to that. In there, in that tomato cage, is the mystery. I think it's a Kellogg's breakfast. I don't know. I didn't label it. I'm a genius. Here is another Brandywine Black, another one that was really, really small, but it's finally growing. The leaves look very healthy. It's beautiful. Never grown that before. Can't wait to taste it. Even though, as I said before, I'm not really a tomato lover, but if I grow it, I will at least try it. This is my one and only mortgage lifter. I gave some tomato plants away and I didn't realize that I only saved one of these. So I will be babying this one, and it's really a beautiful plant as well. Lovely green leaves. So far I have been trying to prune off as much of the bottom as I could. I haven't gotten out here, so there are some leaves with some stuff on it, but I will go clean my pruners. And I actually saw a very large spider over here yesterday, so I really wasn't trying to get down there. But I'll go clean my pruners and come out and prune these tomatoes. This is, who is this? Black Seaman. Again, my one and only Black Seaman, because I gave some away. And I don't really know what I was thinking. I really didn't have any space. I think I have 22 tomato plants as it is. So I really didn't have any room for anything else, but you know, I would have made room. Oh, here's another mystery, which I think is the Brandywine Black as well, that I forgot to label when I put in here, but because it's small like the other ones, I think that's what it is. All of the other tomato varieties are large at this point, so I think that's what that is. This is my tall and lanky purple Russian tomato. Very long, very, very long, very tall. It still have 2 flowers growing on it. I hope we get a tomato. I came out here, you know, tapping the plants and shaking it because I really have not seen any bees. So I've been trying to stay on top of trying to help with pollination since I don't see anything. And here's another view of my Kellogg's breakfast, my pride and joy. A new addition to the garden is this large tomato cage I added. Because of all the spaghetti squash and they were growing over the corn, attaching to the corn, and I really don't want the corn to get messed up or pulled out or shaded out really at this point because they're still rather small. So I put the cage in there and started attaching the spaghetti squash to the cage. So, you know, some can ramble along the ground, which I like because wherever they touch the dirt, they establish roots. So you get sturdier, healthier plants, but at the same time, I don't have enough space to just let them go all over. Not until I clean out this back area, and then, you know, they can ramble along here, I don't care. And I'll put some straw down. Hopefully their roots can go through the straw and still suppress the weeds in the grass a little bit so I don't have to get back here maneuvering between grass and weeds. So again, here's a close-up of the corn and weed bed. And these are the weeds I was talking about that killed the mint and the chives. I don't know what they are or where they came from. Maybe my landscaper brought in some seeds from someone else's property. I don't know. But I've never had them before, and now all of a sudden, they killed my stuff. Okay, and I don't know what's going on with my zinnia. Maybe it's just too much water, not sure, but it was standing up yesterday. I'll have to get that. And I think that's pokeweed. Lovely. I'll have to get out here and kill that too. But in there somewhere are some honeydew green flesh melons. And they finally look like they're taking off. I'm very happy about that. And I think these little frilly things that I said I didn't know what they were last week, I think those are poppies. I've never actually successfully grown any poppies, so, you know, I don't know what they look like. Okay, so I'm gonna backtrack over this way. Here is one of the garlic beds that I said, you know, just hasn't really been looking that well, but hopefully I get some decent garlic. Something just bit me. And nasturtiums, got my zinnia. I don't remember what kind I planted in there. I think I just planted some seeds randomly, so it'll be a nice surprise to see who that is that comes up. Got more garlic here, some flowers and the weeds, and more garlic. I've got some hardneck garlic in my front yard in a whiskey barrel that's finally producing scapes. So I'm excited about that because I've never grown hardneck garlic before. Alright, here's another view of the spaghetti squash, and we've got flowers coming in. And then I think those are cosmos, maybe? And more bachelor buttons, maybe? Those are cosmos, for real. Definitely. I grew those from seed indoors, so I know what they are. Got some salvia tucked back in there, getting completely shaded out. I think that's it. And again, the corn. Got more garlic. Excuse a mess I was planting. Some more garlic, salvia, poppies in a grow bag. This was for potatoes, I believe. Here's my competition Kellogg's breakfast tomato. I put it in its own large pot. And right now he looks kind of small because I did plant him deep, but he will come back with a vengeance and be just as beautiful. Flowers, I don't think they've opened yet. I came out here yesterday and they were nice and bright and open, but here's the mint. That is really growing crazily. And I have the drip irrigation in there, but I haven't had to use it because we've had so much rain. But now I see something is eating the mint, so I will have to get out here, and that helped a lot. Get out here and check for caterpillars or slugs. It's probably slugs. I apparently have a breeding farm back here, and some point today I will be getting back here to weed whack, because with all of this rain it's just almost impossible to find a dry time to do anything. My pole beans are finally climbing. I'm so excited. I love the flowers of pole beans, and I've never grown pole green beans before. So you can see that attached right there. And got some bee balm right here. I am growing some cowpeas, but like there's one right there and it just doesn't look like it's doing much. And these up here are also cowpeas. And I think that one, and this one, and that one. Now the flowers are tall, so now they're getting shaded out, but I thought they would have had enough time to grow and establish themselves, but they're really small, so I don't know. Might not get any, or I might have to wait until I pull out some of this lettuce and try it in a place that's less shaded. I'm not sure, but anyway, here is another row of whole beans, and I threw 3 or 4 scarlet runner beans in here as well, just because I really like the flowers, and I like saving the dried beans for soups. There is my Volunteer borage, one of those, I don't know how you pronounce it, and an exquisite pink zinnia opening. It's very pretty, very pretty. Again, cosmos I grew from seed are about to flower, and maybe a bachelor button, I don't know. If anybody can tell me, please tell me. But as you can see, I have a lot of flowers in here. I have the cosmos and zinnias, the borage, bee balm, some salvia, red and purple is over there. Have the purple African daisies, have yellow daisies, and then I threw some seeds, and then whatever that is, and I threw some seeds in here, but I think they got so, like here's some cosmos too, I think, right here, and my nemesis, I see a large one, the slug. So I did buy some Sluggo Plus, and it was delivered, so I will come out here and sprinkle some after I finish this video, which is already going on 20 minutes. I didn't think it was that long. Okay, anyway, so here are the lettuces and the radishes. Some radishes started to split, so I will have to start pulling those out. This looks like some butter crunch lettuce here, and then there's some more. Actually, that's a heading lettuce. I think that's Paris cos lettuce right here, I think. Don't quote me. Don't quote me, because what I planted didn't grow, so I came out here and I threw down some more seeds, so I really don't know. Don't listen. It's just lettuce. I know that. This, I think, is butter crunch lettuce over here. These are the radishes, my Volunteer garlic. More cosmos and marigolds. I planted some red romaine lettuce and some oak leaf lettuce back there, purple bok choy, and a little tiny Space Master cucumber that I tossed in where the radishes were. Here are my 4 zucchini plants, and what was that? Butternut squash I planted down in there, down inside the cage. Starting to grow. I had my first zucchini actually flower yesterday. I don't know if it was pollinated or not, but he's right in there. He flowered yesterday, and I'm very excited. Got lots of blooms. Oh, here's one that opened today. I cannot wait. So I'm very excited. And I don't feel like walking over there because it's so weedy and wet. But here are my Bocchino peppers in here. The plant is actually a yellow one, but I did put some red Bocchino seeds in there because for some reason none of them ever germinated inside the house, so I wasn't able to get any plants. But out here, I guess it's a more favorable environment. So far I have 2 sprouts. All right, let me just walk over there. Talking about it from a distance. But so far I have at least 2 sprouts. The others are weeds, obviously. I'm growing more weeds than anything. And here I have, I think this might be borage. Poppies, cosmos, and in here are some black-tailed watermelon. So I've got those 2 plants. In another grow bag, I believe that one might be 10 gallons. More cosmos. And this is a sweet passion melon. And weeds. My goodness. I should have brought my gloves back here. Anyway, not weeding while I'm on a video. And then this is another sweet passion melon. This is a sugar baby bush watermelon. Kajari melon, which really looks beat up. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if it's the rain beating down on it or what. But I will keep an eye on that to make sure it's okay. That doesn't look very promising. And over here, there's nothing. It's supposed to be Minnesota midgets, but they died. I did germinate some in the house, so I will put that out later today, probably. It's gonna rain, so I may as well get it out while it rains. I noticed my first, oh, here's another Savoy cabbage, it looks like. More cosmos. Here's a black vernissage tomato that volunteered. At least I think that's what it is. My neighbor really likes it, so I wanted to make sure I saved it if possible. And I noticed my first tomato on my tiny Tim. So I pulled out the other one because it just didn't look good. These aren't very sturdy, healthy looking plants. I don't know if that's me or if that's just the way they look. I'm not sure, but they don't look that great. So, and you know, more weeds, more clover. And I think these are broccoli. I thought maybe they were stretching toward the sun, looking for some light if they were crowded, but I actually think these 2 are broccoli plants. So I doubt I'll get anything before the heat takes over. But anyway, here are the Shasta daisies, looking like they're finally ready to bloom. They did what they did on their own time, what they were supposed to do. I was just impatient and thought they were supposed to come up the same year. That's my fault. Anyway, that is my garden as of June, I believe, 2nd, 2019. And it's already grown so much since the first video 2 weeks ago.